For this one, for making use of the leftovers, we have a selection of potatoes still left over from the shoot. This includes some regular white potatoes, and I've also got some sweet potatoes. I've still got some yogurt left over as well, so that's great for creating a sauce with. And I've also got a spare onion, and then I've still got a bag on the go with a few different cheeses that we haven't had a chance to use up yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the potatoes sliced up, we're going to get the Ninja Speedi out, and then we can show you how to transform these ingredients into a simple potato bake. So now we've got the sweet potatoes chopped up, the potatoes, the regular white potatoes, and then what we're going to do next is we're going to get the Speedi out. We can put it on air fry, add some oil and some seasonings and whatnot, and get this recipe started. So Speedi is out and we are ready. So let's get those potatoes and onions into the Speedi, shall we? Oh, and one that flew out. So spread them all out. And then we can start adding in oils and seasonings. So lots of extra virgin olive oil going on in there. We've got a good seasoning of salt, a bit of pepper as well. And then you can add in whichever favourite seasonings you want. I'm adding in some dried rosemary. And then once you've done that, you can give it a good mix. You can either use your hands or you could use a wooden spoon. It's a cold machine, so I'm just going to use my hands. It gives it a better mix. And look, it's got such a lovely colour now on there. A quick wipe of the hands and we're ready to get them going. So we're going to start with air fry. So pop it on and you're looking for air fry. You're looking for 180 Celsius. That's 360 Fahrenheit, and you're looking for a cook time of 18 minutes and then press start. This recipe is made using leftover ingredients from the photo shoot of our brand new cookbook, the Complete Multi-Cooker Cookbook. What I love most is when the photo shoot is over with is to take the spare ingredients home and make lots of different recipes with it. I kind of think of it like doing a modern version in the multi-cooker of Ready Steady Cook. So if you were interested, the cookbook is available to buy now. It's called the Complete Multi-Cooker Cookbook. Simply search by its name or search Multi-Cooker Salmon Dom for full details. And it's really nice for me to be able to come back and give you a behind the scenes look of ingredients and what we've used in the making of this great cookbook. So now, shall we get back to the food? And we've beeped, so wooden spoon at the ready, and shall we check on those potatoes and onions and see how well they're doing? So, lid up. Oh wow, look at them beauties, don't they look fantastic? Oh, I love the crisp they're starting to get as well. So now I'm going to add in some frozen garlic, again from the shoot. I love garlic. If you don't like as much garlic as me, obviously use less. And frozen garlic does work very well in these gadgets, especially when you're using the multi-cooker, and that's because the multi-cooker cooking pots in them, they're like using an electric stovetop where, you know, it feels like you overly burn your food because the pan gets too hot and it takes forever for it to cool back down. It's a bit like that. So if you're using frozen garlic and the same for frozen ginger, then it's taking that little bit longer for the garlic to cook, so it stops it burning as much. So I've stirred in some garlic, as you saw. And now what we're going to do is we're going to let the lid back down, give it a couple more minutes, and then we can adjust it and add in some sauciness to give it that lovely texture of a potato gratin, or do you call it potato casserole? Are you just potatoes and a cheese sauce? No matter what it is, let's get it back on, shall we? So now let's do another 5 minutes, same temperature, and press start. And we've beeped. So, shall we check on those potatoes with the garlic and the onion and the rosemary and just see how they're doing? Oh, there you go. Now that is potatoes. I love potatoes in the air fryer, and I love Speedi, and I love being able to cook directly in the cooking pan like this. And because it's smaller, it means that you're not waiting ages for the air fryer element of it to work. Whilst with the 15-in-1, it's really, really deep. So what you'll find is if you're doing this same recipe in the 15-in-1, you'll probably need to add another 5 minutes to the cook time, but just keep checking on it and then you'll get an idea of if it needs any longer or whatnot. So now, I promised you a potato gratin, so we've got the potatoes, now we need to make it a gratin. So I've got some leftovers, I've got Philadelphia, and I've got some more little bits of cheese. I can't believe how much I've been able to stretch all these ingredients out to make them last. And I've also got, oh, nearly dropped it all there. I didn't realise the lid was off. Some yogurt. I've only just opened this. I just had a spoonful for another recipe, so it's almost full. As you can see there, it's not a brand of yogurt I normally use, but it's not bad for being able to make creamy sauce with. I've got, this one's at half a cup measurement, which is like 120 ml if you're on the UK measurements. So I'm just going to do one of these to begin with, because I don't want to end up with it overly watery. And then as well as that, we can use this Philadelphia. So I just need a spoon. So I just need a spoon, but in the meantime, what I really need to do is, I don't want this cooking pot getting too cold, so I'm going to put it on saute so that it can be warming up ahead of us mixing in these ingredients. So that's one small tub of Philadelphia Light. And as you know, we've already put half a cup of Greek yogurt in there already. I'm going to leave adding in some extra cheese for now, and then we can just give it a quick stir. Because what we want is we want that fillet to go all gooey and soft. So it needs a bit of a stir till it gets to that point. And it's okay if some of your potatoes break down, it just adds to the texture. So I'm just going to give it a minute to warm that up. And then in the meantime, grab yourself your favourite knife and then chop up your cheese into little chunks. Because I just can't be bothered grating it, and it doesn't matter because it's nice to have little chunks when you've just got a little bit left of one. And this has gone a bit wonky, so I'm just going to use this bit here as well, like this. And then give it a stir, start warming up, because you want that fillet to go lovely and creamy to create the sauce. And then you can add a bit more Greek yogurt in as well. I'm going to do that now actually. Same amount again, we're going with another half a cup, because like I said, it's easier to be able to add more in, and you can't take more out if you've added too much. Oh, nearly overflew it then. And there you go, that's another half a cup there of Greek yogurt. And that makes a lovely creamy texture to the pot. So as you can see, it's really coming along nicely now. So let's add in the cheese, shall we? Let's turn this into a cheesy obsession. And then I can still find a bit of filly there that hasn't quite mixed in. So you can mix that in at the same time. And that cheese will just melt into it, and it'll be so yummy and delicious. And this is also why I recommend doing a thicker slice of potato, because otherwise they just break away into nothing. Grab it all off your spoon. So now we've cancelled the saute, and what you can do now, if you fancy it of course, is grab yourself some breadcrumbs. Breadcrumb the top, because I've got quite a lot of breadcrumbs left over from the shoot as well. Then add little bits of cheese on top, and then lid down. So now let's start off with the grill. So you're looking for 240 Celsius, 465 Fahrenheit, and then we're just finishing off. So just a cook time of 2 minutes, and then press start.
Yep.
And we've beeped, so that means it's potato gratin time. So shall we check on it? Oh, And wow, look at that, all with the little bits of melted red Leicester cheese and breadcrumbs on top. It just looks absolutely delicious. So I better go and get a bowl and show you it closer up. Spoon and bowl ready. Let's see what it's like, shall we? Oh wow, look at this. Melted cheese, breadcrumbs. Oh, what's not to love? Wow, look at that. Doesn't that look fantastic? So just think, this bowl of deliciousness is just using up leftovers, and that when you want to make a creamy sauce, you can use Boursin cheese, you can use Greek yogurt, you can use coconut milk. There's so many different choices for actually making a sauce. Then my favourite one that I seem to go back to time and time again is always Philadelphia cream cheese. It makes an amazing sauce, and if you've just got a spare bit of a tub in the fridge, then use that. Thanks so much for watching our YouTube video. It feels so amazing that you've stuck around to the end. And of course, that must mean that you like our videos. So why not also follow us on social media? You can find us at the Kitchen Gadgets Club on Facebook and on Pinterest, TikTok. We're Kitchen Gadgets Club. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel for more great videos like this one. And you can also find us at KitchenGadgetsClub.com, where we have a membership that shares brand new kitchen gadget recipes every week. And we also have lots of great ideas, resources, tips and tricks. And we are an ovenless kitchen, so we teach you exclusively how to cook with kitchen gadgets. And a ciao for now.